There need to be deliberate efforts from people working in the area of water, sanitation and hygiene to reach out to other sectors and to preach to the unconverted.
Today, 1 in 3 people don't have access to clean water. 2 out of 5 people don't have access to basic hand washing facilities, and 673 million people still practice open defecation. And then there's a substantial lack of funding to tackle all of this. Less than 14% of countries say they have the resources they need to implement their water, sanitation and hygiene plans. A lack of water can affect crop growth, which ultimately then goes on to affect food security and nutrition. The absence of a toilet in the home can put a woman at risk of gender-based violence. No facilities in schools can also affect a girl's education if she has to stay home during her menstruation. But with so many competing priorities on global agendas, how can organizations ensure that the issue resonates with those who are able to help advance progress? Number 1, tailor communications to the audience. The first step is to find out what matters to different groups of people and then tailor WASH messaging in a way that's going to resonate with them. For example, if you want to reach a global health audience, connecting the issue to WASH in healthcare facilities could be one way to go. 1 in 4 healthcare centres around the world has no access to hand washing facilities, and in the lowest income countries, almost half have no clean water. Building partnerships that enable WASH organizations to connect with people from different backgrounds could also help. For example, in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, social impact agency Purpose is working to position faith leaders as champions of climate change and water. This has allowed the organization to reach a new set of individuals on a different level.
These voices otherwise are usually untapped and unheard. And it becomes very important because these are also voices that are relied upon, that are authentic and that holds a lot of value in the community.
Number 2, make the linkages. Sometimes the link between taps, toilets and freshwater ecosystems can get lost. Showing rather than telling people could help to make that connection a little stronger.
One of the great campaigns that we've been involved with as WWF is called Journey of Water, to remind people that water doesn't come from a tap. So the point of Journey of Water was to bring social media influencers, celebrities, so that they could tell the story about the river, about the threats, the solutions, the importance of it, in their own words. Getting influencers who know how to talk to people who have their audiences to do it in their own voices has been a really, really powerful way of getting that message across.
Number 3, measure impact. Measuring impact is really important for WASH organizations as it allows them to see what messages people are connecting with and what methods of reaching people are working. Measuring impact can be done through social listening, so for example, testing and polling across social media channels.
It could be as basic as just understanding your Google ads or Google searches or keyword searches, for example. All of this just gives us insight onto how people are thinking, what people are searching for.
Number 4, attribute value to WASH. For those who have challenges in accessing water, sanitation and hygiene facilities, they likely understand its value. But for those living in a location where such access is the norm, it can be a little harder.
A lot of the people in charge of these supply chains are based in places where water comes out of the tap quite freely. And I think our big challenge in the water sector, again, it comes back to how do we connect these decision makers with the actual problem that's happening at the grassroots interface.
To highlight the importance of WASH, it could help to develop messaging and campaigns that look at the issue through a different lens.
Water is not just some esoteric thing that affects ecosystems. When the ecosystems start to be threatened or collapse, supply chains are at risk. And when your supply chain is at risk, your economic value and the value you can return to your shareholders is also at a massive risk of collapsing.
Investments in WASH have the power to strengthen societies and act as a catalyst for economic growth. If Sustainable Development Goal 6 on clean water and sanitation for all can be achieved by 2030, then gains in all other SDGs will follow. If you'd like to learn more about how WASH impacts all the other SDGs, then you can visit our series at washworks.devex.com, or you can join in the conversation across social media using the hashtag WASHWorks.